All right, happy Friday, everybody. It is May 24th, 2024, and you're here at PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com. And I'll leave our logo up here for a minute, and let's talk about the markets. So, the Dow futures today, these are our automated trading systems, or I think that's really just a lot of back and forth. Today, we did two trades that didn't amount to much, and that's it. The Russell here Um, it continues to not be able to get out of its own way. And we had one trade today, and it was a stop out, which is still fine. Irritating, but fine. Our NASDAQ, it is doing one of these, uh, you know, it almost looks like a fry pan bottom like you would from a stock chart, but this is not a stock chart. This is the results of our trading. So um, today's trades, there were a handful of them, and none of them were good, but we had a lot of stop outs. So we're really looking for some stop outs surrounded by a nice trade. That's what we're due for. And then this is the older version of the NASDAQ, and it's trying to get itself back up and going again. These are both, for what it's worth, systems are based on the same math. Just one of them eliminates certain trades, and the other one has them in there. So this one actually has fewer trades and less of a pullbacks. This one possibly has a little bit more upside, but deeper pullbacks and more trades. So it's a trade-off. If you follow, everything in trading is a trade-off. So this one for 524, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. It had a nice trade today, and then a couple of losers. So, and you can see it got a pop and then a pullback. So that's, for what it's worth, our trading systems, even the manual ones, generally will kick out that type of an equity curve. Putting that on paper is more of a process that way, but that's where I do the math and get the statistics for profit factors and things like that. All right, let's go to the markets themselves. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. So we were looking for a bounce after yesterday's big move to the downside. We got a bounce, quite a bounce actually. From a let's talk about candles, just because some people really put a lot of faith in candles. This thing got back up. It looks like more than halfway through the candle of yesterday. That's supposed to be pretty bullish. I don't trust it. I don't think it means all that much personally, but I guess it's better than if it didn't get halfway up. Um, so the question is going to be, from this point going forward, we get more of a pullback, or do we go higher? And we're right in the middle of the hourly chart over here. So it's anybody's guess, other than the moving averages are green. So, by the way, I am testing different. Instead of 30, what happens if you use 20 period moving averages? What happens if you use 15? I'm doing some testing over the weekend. Always looking for a better edge. 30 is still the favorite, but I actually looked at 20 and 15 really quick, and other than they make more trades, they might have a better profit factor. So, and actually, I think at the end of the day, it's all the same. You got to get out when it's time to get out. You got to get in generally when it's time to get in, and manage yourself as you go. That's really the bottom line. All right, so that's the S&P 500. So the S&P went back up 0.7% today. The Dow went back up, only 4 points. So the Dow's at 39.06. Check that out, though. I drew that 61.8 retracement line in there yesterday, and look how it's just sitting on it. I think I did it yesterday. If not, it was a couple days ago. But that 618 retracement, for what it's worth, is based off of this high to this low. If you can follow, I think you can see my pencil. and then that extends the 50% to there, 61.8, 786. That's 100%. And then there would be a 1272 that I'm not showing. Actually, it might be right there. And as long as we don't breach below 50, and it's best if we stay above 618, this thing should go back and fill in all the way up to 1272 in theory. No guarantees. The Russell went up 21 points today, or 1.04%. You can see I forget what they call that in candle theory. That's something about a baby, because it's a little candle and little bullish candle after that's inside the body of a previous bearish candle. The Nasdaq went on to almost make new highs today. That was the news story I heard. Back up to the 1272 extension. Fully expecting it to get to the 1618. I'll edit properties and put that on. There that is. So, and let's look at NVIDIA for fun. NVDA, the one that popped. And how are we tracking against our target? So far, so good. And it's just wild to me how that works. It's like a magnet. All right, oil continues to fall. We are at the cloud line, so that's going to be a pivotal moment. Gold. It's looking pretty, I mean, like it's, I think we'll get a bounce somewhere into on the hourly chart over here. And then and possibly a chance to short. In fact, I'm going to go put in an alert in case that happens. We'll see what happens there. And TLT for bonds. So TLT broke this long-term trend line, relatively long, and to the upside, and then it really has been fighting against it. I still think we're going to probably break out from it, and other than just managing our stops, I think this possibly could really turn into a new uptrend, at least if a temporary one. Okay. Just wondering if there's any other lessons to be learned. Tesla. So same kind of a thing. We got a breakout. I think I could actually draw in some falling trend lines that we broke out from. We did it after earnings. We got some fast movement here. We got a pullback for the big money to get in potentially, and then this thing could just rock and roll higher. This structure over here on the hourly chart is a break of structure to the upside, and yeah, let's see what happens. It could also just fall, but I've got stops in place, and that's just how this works. All right, let's go to put the ES back up here. You can see we're rocking and rolling really above the Ichimoku cloud. There's a whole lot to this cloud that's really good information. The VIX, we got that pop yesterday in the VIX, and that's, the market went lower. Today we got a lot of pullback and the bounce in the overall market, and we got a pullback here on the VIX. So the question is going to be, can we stay in lower volatility for a longer time and get the market back up and going again, or not? And then from the inside out, we went from bearish on the left hand side over here on the 4-hour chart, heavy bearish, and now we're starting to roll up literally from the 15-minute to the 30-minute to the hour. And how long will that last? And is that tradable to just start at the 15-minute and work from the inside out until it rolls over again, that's a possible system in and of itself. It doesn't just go for the ES, it could go for, well, let's look at gold. We were just talking about it. And I'm looking for it to roll back up again. Could you trade it when you start getting signals on the 15 minute? Sure you could. And then roll back over when everything starts rolling over again. And then put all the markets together in this study and look at them and see how they're really tracking the same kind of way. We got technically a double top here, which can be bearish. And if it rolls over and dies from here, obviously that's what played out. Otherwise, we could get buildup going on the right hand side over here up underneath this price in this zone and go for that breakout. Last but not least, not performance chart, point and figure charts. Look at the bullish percent indexes. The industrials today did not move. The NYA minus 0.13% or barely moved. Transports didn't move. The NASDAQ minus 0.64%. The S&P 500 minus 1.19%. The S&P 100 minus 1.41%. And the NASDAQ 100 minus 1.64%. So we need to start seeing some strength out of the bullish percent indexes if they're going to crawl back up, or we're going to roll back over would be my guess. And rolling back over into basically a chop would give us an opportunity for that buildup, I think. And don't forget, let's see if I can pull that up here. You know, when markets tend to go down, well, this one went down and all the way back up again. So forget what I was going to say. I was going to say they usually unwind like this. This one is different because it broke out higher from a V bottom. So, I mean, this potential pullback could be over, and it's relatively rare for that to happen. But it did happen here, and this is that kind of buildup that I was talking about that could happen now. If you see, we went that type of price action right there, but it started doing buildup before it actually broke out. This case, it broke out and then it's pulling back into that. So we'll just take it as it comes. Each trade as they come. That's all we can do. Until next time, take care. Have a great weekend. Memorial Day is Monday, so there won't be any trading, and we'll catch you again on Tuesday.